National Handloom Day, the first of its kind that we are celebrating in Mizoram University. I don't know about the whole of the country. It may be the first for the whole nation also. And this is a collaboration between Directorate of Field Publicity, Ministry of Information and Publicity and Broadcasting, and Mizoram University. To open our day, let me call upon Lilivang Cultural Club to show one traditional dance. Now I invite Lilivang Cultural Club. Thank you, Lilivang Cultural Club, for your beautiful dance. And today we have our chairman, who is the registrar of Mizoram University, and our chief guest for today is our Vice Chancellor, Professor Lian Zela. And we will have keynote address from Sri MC Lian Moya, Field Publicity Officer, and we will also have a speech from two resource persons, Dr. Ramaram Swami and Mr. C. Lalhan Moya. These are the resource persons that we will have today. Now I invite our chairman, Mr. Sizo Thankuma, Registrar of MZU, to give his introductory remarks.
Professor Lianzela, Vice Chancellor, OMC Lianmoya, Field Publicity Officer, teachers, students, dear friends. Today we are celebrating this National Handloom Day. In fact, this was supposed to be celebrated on 5th, that is on Saturday. But Saturday being closed holiday for us, it was not possible to hold a function on the day. So we organized this program today. The objective, the reason of holding this function is to generate awareness about the importance of handloom industry and its contribution to the socio-economic development of the country in general, and to promote handlooms, increase income of weavers, and enhance their pride in particular. That is the reason we are here today. I want to thank Julian Moya, Field Publicity Officer, for initiating and bearing all the costs, expenditure of this function. Today, our emphasis is likely to be on the skill of Mizo women in weaving and handloom activities. To emphasize the point, you can see I'm wearing this waistcoat, which is a beautiful handiwork of our Mizo women, and we will see later in a quiz competition the beauty of the handiwork of our Mizo women. I hope in the quiz which will be coming later, the students will keenly participate, and we have prizes for that also. Thank you for coming today to make this function a success. Thank you.
Thank you, our respected Registrar and Chairman of the function. Now, may I invite Sri MC Lianmoya, Field Publicity Officer, Directorate of Field Publicity, ISOL Unit, to give his keynote address.
The Chairman, then Korean Sound, Vice Chancellor Book, Atopite, MZU, Zitir Tute, Ule, Zirlai Dum Takte, when you're here, have program on to now, Mom in Lap Puitu, MZU to Chuma along to him, Santa Sedua. Then when you're here, INB Ministry, Moya and Topite, all India Radio Le, Doordarshan, PIB, Tele, DAVP Te, then Vichina Lam can enter, Song and Drama Division Te, when you're young, have program to rain, Minun, and Puite, can Lombok, and Ya, Tin Komatakin, Om Lopo, Miloti Saklaula, can Topite, all India Radio Le, Doordarshan Teka, Inchut Munahan and Dinteu. Then the Chin Khan Song and Drama Division Lamchu, Lam Ten and Tir to Hak in Tir Lomela, Anika Mizoram Culture Club and Minaa, and Song and Drama Division Moy Yan in register culture troop and Ya, INB Ministry program can make Yan and he. Can fly China, Minton, Tapu China, Tiang Chuan, program you can make out China. And then when you're here, so to Tam Tak among us say to Tamuka Soil of Vanga, Kenny I&B Ministry Noya Department Mizoram on the two, the China can sweet up the car, Kanya. Then had awareness campaign India Sorkar Malak Nakang awareness campaign can they Chungsang at the po Chang Hovin Tian Swan Malak Nakang can they China. Kenny DFP he Tin Kang Kil Korzo Plate Kopuyate Tian Swan Hen Sorkar Malak Natapuan Zarin Kun can Mang China. Then do the Sante only radio to electronic media in the country cup, the Ampian and Malam to country, so Ponga Yavanga. Then DAVP Kantika, Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity, and Ya Anika India Sokam Halakna, Milema NT Chinania, Milen Pui, was started to the Amzuan, India Sokam Halakante. Buồn già nó không tiền chuan anh em tiêu chỉ anh tiền mang là chú anh nhá tiền với nhà hiền hay cần siết tầm in Handloom Day National Handloom Day cần mang anh nhá National Handloom Day lúc tiền suốt đàm chú India Sarkar in sáng ngày sòng panga khát chế này Nisari August sang Sompanga Khan ni National Handloom Day hi apuang ania tun ma kumzale som kal to Khan Swadeshi movement atanga handloom hi inchan ani to a chu tuna kan Prime Minister hian National Handloom Day hi apuang ani tiang chuan von ya po hey kumin len chuan avoi thum kan han na alon ni ta a tiang chuan he program hi kalpui ania ten and chin khan kan sei paya ma ko changa ron kal kan resource person tu te khong yan chu an ding ve sala anh khá uri na le sali anh me anh khá he kan program ke lo tu ti si na mi anh ya tiam chuan kun le man puan chuan kan lo le ani von ya ya he program mang tu ra man khal zong te Directorate of Field Publicity minin chibe kan bu chuwa long thu kon che chuni ti kha se te to me se ko lo me.
Thank you, Mr. MC Lian Moya. And now, although in the very beginning I said the first Handloom Day, he showed that I am 3 years wrong. So the first Handloom Day was on 5th August 2015, which however started 110 years back with the Swadeshi movement. And I'm really grateful that you gave that kind of facts, which maybe our students may not know also. Thank you for that. Anyway, it's the first time that we celebrate in MZU. MZU we khat kan ti na ni wa khan ke ni handloom lam lo she lo chon we khat na khan kan ngai ve ngota kum thum na alo ni to a kha kan zir lai te pon lo sia ula lo sin sa he ula cha me. Now I will invite our chief guest, Professor Lian Zela, to give his chief guest speech. Let's welcome our Vice Chancellor.
Dictate who is our compeer, our registrar, who is the chairman of this function, and those of the media people who come here for the first time in this iconic building of Mizoram University Auditorium, and the deans, the head of departments, my colleagues here in the university, my dear students, friends. It's really a privilege for me to stand before you on this occasion. We have gathered together here to observe the National Handloom Day for the first time here in Mizoram University. Even though Pidikte has mentioned this is the first time for the Handloom Day's sort of celebration, she's true in a way that it's our first time here in the university. Even though for the national it's the third time, everything is hurriedly done today here because the information we got from the center is rather late, and the publicity officer also, he came down here for the last, 3 or 4 days back, and we sat together, arranged this program, and then at that time our expectation was that there would be a kind of small exhibition down there, and also here we'll display some of the handloom products. And we requested all the volunteers, the ushers, to put on the handloom products. And today my outfit is also carefully selected, just like the registrar. I put on Mizo handloom product, and then the shirt, and then the tie also, just to show that these are the products of Mizo handloom and handicraft industry. Talking about the handloom here in India, as well as in Mizoram in particular, I would say the potentials that the sector has is immense. If we properly develop the handloom industry, textile industry, for the whole nation, our national income would have risen very, very high. So is in Mizoram also. Here is my colleague who did her study there in handloom cluster over there at Tenzol, and she presented like what she found out and the suggestions that she has there in the chamber of Chief Minister of Mizoram, and our Chief Minister was very much impressed by the work she did and the recommendations she put forward. Mizos in general, whether women or men, we are talented people, I should say. We can easily learn, and when it comes to weaving or handloom kind of work, we are second to none. I would say the Mizo ladies, when it comes to weaving, making very intricate design, and in a style thing, women of Mizo people are second to none. They are really expert in the field. What they need is somebody to promote, to market their products, and to teach them how to market their products. Okay. Yes. Mizos have inborn talent, inborn quality. We can easily learn. Some of the Mizo ladies who are doing knitting also, when they saw the design or the one who is working, they can like imitate the thing and they can produce the same thing within no time. So such is our quality. Yes. But there is another side of the story, because every coin has two sides, the head and the tail. Okay. So I would say the other side that Mizo community has, even though they have a very good inborn quality, they can easily learn, they can easily copy, or they can easily imitate, but seldom the Mizo, like, let us say in handloom or in whatever skill they have, they don't reach to the level of specialization. Okay. Jack of all trades, master of none. They say, jack of all trade, master of everything should be like, the saying about Mizo. But unfortunately, jack of all trades, master of none. We know we know how to play guitar, we know how to do this or that. But the only thing is that generalizing the thing these days, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. See, every time when I stood up, I used to say, we are in a globalized world. What do we mean by that? Globalized world, survival of the fittest. So many people will compete. So those who can reach the top, they'll survive. So is the thing in handloom. Yes, many of the Mizos can produce as beautiful as this, or, okay, like wraparound or whatever. Mizo topi. Okay. But unless it survives the competition from outside, it survives the competition at the global level, will be nowhere. So the need is, we need to develop our entrepreneurship. There is a shy of entrepreneur in Mizoram. Very unfortunate. Though many people have good quality, but if they're not enterprising, if their kind of dream is only within Mizoram, never thought about the whole India, never thought about the whole globe, will be nowhere. Survival of the fittest. So whenever we talk about business skill also, Mizo way of thinking is that having a high profit at the single unit, never talk about what would be the total sale. So even if things are very cheap at the single unit, but when the total sale are more, then at the end the profit will be high. So we have to be taught all these things. And then another is that in Mizo way of saying, like, this product, oh, we have a huge product, the quantity is very, when it comes to ginger or whatever. But Mizos more, Mizo peoples more are not regarded as more or large quantity by the eyes of foreigners or by the eyes of those who are doing business in a large scale. So we have to change our attitude and we have to change our calculation. Okay, here are management teachers. So you have to teach your student, like we have to change our attitude, we have to change our way of calculating. Okay, the more or the big or the large quantity in the Mizo term should apply at the global level. So when you say in your own perspective, big, large quantity of product, no. When they say, oh, it's insignificant when you talk about global need, when you talk about national need. So, in many ways, we have to change our way of thinking. Handloom product or whatever, like Mizo topi, Mizo itache, all these things. Okay. It is necessary that we increase our product, but how to market your product? Okay, here are experts who would give, like in a more precise manner, this thing. So what I would like to tell you here today is that, like, we all people need to revalue our own products, reappreciate our own products, instead of wearing, those things that are coming from outside on every occasion. Like when we have important occasion, why not we put on the handloom products of ours so that we can create our own image in the outside world. And here is our register and other like officials here. Can we not think in terms of our convocation gown having like, the intricate design of our Mizo products? See, we are having the gown, they are beautiful. Theological College and other institutions also, they have their convocation gown. So why not we have like made from Mizo products? Okay. At one point of time, the government of Mizoram, they kind of issued instructions like in the office curtain or this thing, in the cushions, or only Mizo handloom products should be used. But the enforcement is rather weak. So now it's a time to rethink of those of the past things, like if we are really to promote handloom and textiles of Mizoram or India, then we have to kind of change our mindset, our attitude. Anyway, so let us remind ourselves, Mizos have inborn talent, inborn quality. Let's try to reach to the level of specialization so that we can outstun other competitors, and all the products of Mizo handloom will be sold there in US market, Japan market, Australia market, and this thing. So with all this few extempore speech, I inaugurate the observance of our national holiday, Handloom Day, and I wish the deliberations and the thing that we did in the name of this Handloom Day will bring out good results for our future generation and for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, our Honorable Vice Chancellor. And it's really an inspiring speech. And we all know that Mizo society is rich in handloom and other products also, but somehow the marketing, we are not very good at marketing. And Professor Lianzela, being from economics, he has also shared some of his viewpoints. And I'm sure that even our students, you will have something to think on when it comes to handloom. Kan produkte chade ude om china achang chuanin I vairamate vaitenan ha a mo tikhan alar china ni amai ro chu akhoi la ya moni hian alar da na hi kan lok pui zong hena kan lu tuklo te po ani ome kan lok tur angin lok pui enge mo za chom to ma se henga te po han zir lai kan ni angin eng hinge kan hobak kan ngai to na voina handloom day kan han observe atang hian khati zong khan kan ri rungai to na te po se mila achome. Now we have a solo from Mercy Lalmuan Omi, first semester, Department of Psychology. Now may I invite her on stage.
Chuang du pha de
us with your melodious voice. Banukte, he ngel yang o katisina, kariruan kangai to banukte he ngel kashetsi alwa. Mase Asia ino mga Mizo department te lomchuan. Mase banukte handel a handloom riau yang kan sheri ngota mase animia loponi thea. Inge mohan bade nek turka banukte hi lo ne mo te katia tu na asak atang khan katiru lo manitsu. Today we have two resource persons, and one is Dr. Ramaram Swami. She's from Department of Commerce. Now may I invite her to take the stage and share with us whatever she has prepared.
At the outset, I would like to extend warm greetings on this occasion to Professor Lianzela, our registrar, Pulian Moya, and the entire fraternity of Mizoram University students, my colleagues, non-teaching staff, and especially to the weaving and the allied workers engaged in the handloom industry all over the country and in Mizoram also. Now, I also commend the initiative of the Government of India to designate this day as the National Handloom Day in recognition of the contribution of millions of households which are engaged in weaving and allied activities in this country. It is indeed an honor and privilege to speak on this occasion, as I am very passionate about handloom, and the main thrust of my research work, as Professor Zella had already mentioned, is on handlooms. I have worked on it for almost a decade that I have spent in Mizoram. The objective of celebrating this day, as our Honorable Registrar had mentioned, is to generate awareness about the significance of handloom industry and its contribution to the socio-economic development of the country and the region. And hence, I will endeavor to shed light on these aspects in my presentation. My presentation is based on the mapping of Tenzor cluster way back in 2008 when I started my research in Mizoram University, which I think all of you know is a remote town which is located in Shechip district, and today it has emerged as an important center of weaving. Next slide, please. The next one. Handlooms, all of us know, constitutes a timeless facet of the rich cultural heritage of India. And since centuries, India has developed a system of specialized concentrations throughout the country, where the entire village has functioned as a workshop. In Hindi, it is known as a karkhana. This sector not only represents the rich heritage of the country, but is also the second largest employment provider after agriculture. And it has shown great resilience in surviving and sustaining over the ages, in spite of a lot of obstacles which have come in its way. It's important to see that it provides employment directly to millions of households in India, most of them belonging to rural areas. Almost 87% of the workforce, handloom workforce, dwell in the rural areas of the country. Moreover, the sector also provides employment to a significant population of the underprivileged sections of the society, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, and the women. And what is very important here is the women make up, especially from the rural areas, almost 78% of the total handloom workforce. But in spite of its huge employment potential that Professor Zella has just mentioned, this sector is going through a crisis today, and it has witnessed a decline during the past decade in terms of number of looms and the weaver households in all the states except West Bengal and the northeastern states. The next slide, please. From the northeastern point of view, it plays a very vital role in the socio-economic milieu of the northeast region of India. This is a skill, a common skill, which is passed on from generation to generation to the women folk. The knowledge and skill of weaving is transmitted or transferred naturally from the mother to the daughter as apprenticeship. If you look at the slide, the northeastern states have the largest concentration of handlooms in the country. Almost 65% of the entire handlooms are concentrated in this region, and it has almost 50% of the total handloom workforce. And what is very interesting is 99% of the adult workforce in the northeast region are women. And in Mizoram, I'm sure all of you know, it is the women who weave, the men don't weave here. Okay. Assam has the largest number of looms, followed by Manipur, Tripura, Nagaland, Arunachal, and Mizoram. The total handloom workforce in Mizoram is about 43,000 persons working on 43,000 odd handlooms. But again, it is ironical that a majority of these looms, which are functioning in the northeast, almost 62%, are engaged in domestic production. That is where I will again refer back to what Professor Zella said, that we need to do it on a commercial scale to scale it up. And that is again a very fertile area of entrepreneurship development, which has been relegated to not a great position here. Yes, the next slide, please. Now, as I told you, this underlines the importance, the significance of developing this entire sector in this region. I am presenting my case study of Thinsol cluster because I've been following the cluster for the last almost a decade, where a paradigm shift has occurred in the work pattern of weaving as an occupation from a domestic chore to a commercial activity, giving remarkable economic returns to the women folk in that particular hamlet. Now, Thinsol is located in Chetu district and is developed, as I told you, as handloom cluster. The genesis of the cluster as a commercial center of production can be traced back to 1982 with a humble beginning of only 8 looms and 4 enterprises. And 98% of the entire enterprises operating in Thinsol are owned by women. They are women entrepreneurs who are operating this. And as I told you previously, all the weavers are women. So it shows the impact on women empowerment. When we talk about women empowerment, weaving becomes a very important area, a sector that could be developed. Next. That is an aerial view of Thinsol for those of you who have not been there. It's a beautiful place. Next slide, please. Now, what has been the impact on livelihood? Because I told you that I'm going to look not at the cultural part of it. I'm going to delve more into the socio-cultural aspects of handloom. Now, when I did my research, I found out that in 2015, 73% of the entrepreneurs rely on weaving as the main occupation. So that is again a very important sustainable livelihood option for them. 600 people were employed in various in allied activities, weaving activities by these enterprises. That is only the sample enterprises which I have taken. I have not done the mapping on in 2015. And I have also, next slide please. As Professor Zella said, I had mentioned a number of crucial business activities which need to be developed in this particular cluster, and I had submitted a report to the Chief Minister of Mizoram, Pulal Tanhola. I'm just looking at some crucial activities because I cannot discuss all of them. The first one, where still a lot needs to be done, is the storage of raw materials and working sheds. If you look at, because we are in an isolated place, inclement weather, transport problems, the yarn, the raw material is a major problem for the entrepreneurs. And during this season, especially up to September, October, they face a huge obstacle of lack of raw materials. And again in my research, I had said that we need working sheds to be provided to the weavers. I will show you pictures to show you in how they are working, what is the environment in which they are working. And 90% of the weavers did not have a separate working shed. They were working outside in their veranda or in the stills below their homes. And I hope the situation has improved now. Marketing, we were talking about marketing. And one of the main techniques of marketing for handloom products, because it's a niche product, they cannot afford advertising at a global level, is participation of national, international exhibitions. We found that around only 18% of the entrepreneurs we interviewed have got a chance to go to any exhibition at all, even in Mizoram. And very few of them, only 3 of them, had visited any national or international exhibition. So that is important because it is a sustainable livelihood option here. Designs, we need some more, I'm sure the other resource person will say, we need some kind of a tie-up with NID or NIFT and try to upgrade the designs of those weavers at the ground level at Tenzol. Marketing outlets, we require more marketing outlets. We don't have it. We have, I think, 3 outlets have come up in Tenzol. We need more outlets of the Mizo handloom products, not only in Mizoram, even outside. Geographic indication, I think it is still in the process and we have still not procured it. We need to procure it very early. And last but not the least, we need to have an e-commerce portal where information can be disseminated through the internet for all the stakeholders, the suppliers of raw materials, customers, dealers, etc. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, it will be interesting to look at the journey that has been traversed by Tenzol cluster in the past decade. Okay. Some cooperative societies have been set up. 8 cooperative societies have been set up by the government of Mizoram, but unfortunately, only 6% of the sample entrepreneurs were members of these cooperative society. Because the concept of cooperative society is very nascent in Tenzol, in Mizoram, I think the government and non-government agencies need to undertake concerted efforts to educate the weavers about the fundamental concept of a cooperative society so that the benefits could be derived by all. Weaving identity cards. This is another area. The government of India facilitated distribution of photo identity cards to the genuine weavers to ensure that the benefits of various schemes implemented by the center and the state percolate down to the lowest level. Around 40% of them have received their photo identity cards in Tenzol. Now this is important because this identity card is linked to other schemes like the health insurance scheme, the integrated handloom development scheme, Deen Dayal Hath Kargar Protsahan Yojana, the working sheds, etc., etc. So if the weaver identity cards are given to the genuine weavers, automatically they get linked to the other schemes. Some of the, as I told you, some retail outlets have been, the one on top, a picture of Tenzol East Cooperative Society. Some outlets have been set up in Tenzol itself. The government of Mizoram has increased the warping drum that is known as the Puan Banna. It reduces the drudgery of the weaver. When we're talking, they are women, and if you have more of these Puan Bannas or warping drums, it reduces their drudgery, and that is what the government of Mizoram has done. I commend them for that. The process of GI has been undertaken seriously. Next slide, please. Innovation of products. You can look at the innovation at their own level. They're having a lot of innovation. They have so much of creativity, the weavers. You have blags, you have sling bags, you have small bags to carry their mobiles, so on and so forth. So innovation is there at that level. And if you look at the last picture there, we in clusters, what happens is the entrepreneurship fuels other kind of enterprises to emerge. So we have some entrepreneurs who have set up the workshops, and I believe they are the cheapest. The looms that are sold in Tenzol are the cheapest. Now, please, next slide, please. Now, if you look at the impact on livelihood, we find that in 2008, there were only 200 enterprises, but in 2014, it has increased to 325. So, and the sales turnover has increased from 4.5 crores to 7 crores in 2015. That is, I'm talking only about the sample entrepreneurs. The entire mapping could go, beyond 10 to 15 crores. So it has emerged as an important sector, providing livelihood to a significant number of households in Tenzol. Next slide, please. Now, this is an overview of the weaving locality in Tenzol. Next. I've just got some pictures so that it becomes more interesting and you see what Tenzol is all about. This is as I told you, they don't have sheds, so the looms are housed in the veranda. Next slide. There is a note here on the loom. This is again a weaving shed. This is how they operate. And you can imagine in rains it's going to be very difficult to weave. Next. This is the charka. She's operating the charka in her kitchen. That is her house. And this activity allows the woman to look after her home, her children, as well as her economic activities. Next slide, please. That's the Puan Banna I told you. This is typically how they work. You go to Tenzol any day and you will find that mother and child, daughter are engaged in weaving activities. Next. That is another picture. Next slide, please. Thank you. I think I've taken a lot of time, but then I would just try to sum up. The key aspect that emerges from this empirical study that I've shown you is the thriving of entrepreneurship in this cluster, which is rooted in availability of labor. And as we have seen, there has been a spin-off of enterprises leading to a formation of a spatial concentration of firms. So entrepreneurship is there, sir. It is there. We just need to harness it in the right way, especially the handlooms. The cluster has shown remarkable growth in terms of growth of enterprises, total production, and sales turnover. The future prosperity of Tenzol cluster depends on a combination of successful marketing strategies that sir has already mentioned, continuous product innovation, building of a sound infrastructure through proactive cluster development interventions by both the central and the state government. So I'll sum up by saying that as the world becomes more mechanized and standardized, let us pledge to revive and regenerate handlooms by buying and wearing handloom products. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rama, for your very interesting presentation. Although we are very much aware of the handlooms that is there in Tenzol, no one has gone to the extent of finding out those little details. And what I found in Tenzol is that although it's a place where majority of the production, handloom production is produced, like Rama has said, the location of their looms is very, very bad. Tenzol ason in kar to thobin karinga atam sok sa chu inchina soya han baranda te anya in fang nei po chete te ani so I khazok son tak mass production han kita irang inasa takin market po capture te karinga. And another interesting thing that I found is that from Tenzol no one has gone beyond Mizoram for sale of their products. Mizoram po nampere like ka anlo kha amak adang lam be shim boka tin till tunan presentation diraw kay Marcia de makati da also Tenzol ason dora kalila hey khoi ta me tira aizol ta ti hin nei ve aizol ton hanan ta lu ve tho sa ti sa zor son nge manita kan du ro de Tenzol kan aizol ta do aizol in Tenzol ta kan du mai nge hi kasi tiam lo ba ten zo ka su chuan hi nang mani ta nge ka thei zo ai zo tang kan la du an te heta ai zo la hi ten zo la da an swang pia wa ten zo lam chan ai zo khan swang le biao lo ya si la hi chu adang dai be shim shima kan share be ni. And next we have Mr. Sila Chen Moya tini kan tu nge yang o pakan pia, and he's our very own Mr. Charlie di kan larzo ka. And those who are sleeping, Mr. Charlie has something interesting for your eyes also, not only for your ears. Yeah, I am not mentioning anything. He has something interesting for your eyes, and he has very, very interesting things for your ears. Muhil ho khan, insan ro kuidon tikan seilo kani. So in bulami deka in haijon kai tho ulama se, ansan ro kuidon wangin kai tho lo ula in lab don ni. So may I invite Mr. Charlie to make his presentation.
Honorable Chief Guest, the Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, respected Chairman, the Registrar, teachers and students of the university. I'm immensely grateful to be here today, and it's the intelligent campus in our state here. Why do we celebrate the National Handloom Day? This day is observed on 7th August since 2015 to honor the handloom weavers in our country and also garner an impetus to India's handloom industry. The day is observed to give awareness on the handlooms industry, its contribution to the socio-economic development of India. It aims at promoting and leveling up the handloom sector as a viable industrial sector in the country. Today we may not have a single weaver in our midst, but our thoughts are with them because the National Handloom Day celebrates the weavers. This year is the 3rd edition of the National Handloom Day and is celebrated all over India today. The main celebration in our state is held at the State Assembly today. It started at 11. By now, I presume it may be over. The main celebration of the country is held in Guwahati, Assam today, with the Union Minister of Textile, Smriti Irani, as the chief guest. The Union government had declared this day in July 2015 as the National Handloom Day with the objective to generate awareness about the importance of India's handloom industry. Some of us in this room may not know about what is handloom. Handloom is the process of weaving done with any of the various looms. A loom is a device operated wholly or partially by hand to weave cloth or fabric. The handloom fabric is an interlacing, or rather, interwoven of warp and weft threads on the loom. Today I will give you an overview of India's handloom industry. Over 4.3 million people are directly involved in the handloom industries in our country. The handloom industry demonstrates the richness and diversity of India. We have different regional weaves in our country. We have Jamdani from Bengal, Banarasi sari silk from Banaras. Then we have Chanderi silk from Madhya Pradesh, Kanchipuram silk, Ikat of Orissa in Andhra Pradesh. Then we have Kalamkari of Andhra Pradesh, Bandhani and Kulu shawl from Kashmir. This industry is the second largest employment provider for the rural population in India, next to agriculture. So we know about the link between agriculture and the handloom industry. Handloom industry accounts for 14% of the total industrial production, and it contributes to nearly 30% of the total exports from India. Therefore, the handloom industry plays a very vital role in the country's economy. How? Farmers are growing the raw materials, cotton, jute, rearing silk of different types, mulberry, tassar, eri, and muga. As the old saying goes, no man is an island in the handloom industry. There are a plethora of people, professional people, involved in the handloom sector. The revival of the handloom industry in the country began with the aggressive focus on policies which was initiated by Narendra Modi when he became the Prime Minister of India, with the lead taken by Smriti Irani, our very honorable Union Minister of Textiles. They have introduced and increased projects, schemes, funds, credit facilities, marketing platforms, etc. under the Ministry of Textiles. Recently, we had in Gujarat the India Textiles 2017 festival. I was there as one of their delegates as well. Handloom industry is a result of the heart, head and hand working in coordination. A quality product is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. In fact, the Indian handloom sector is a tribute to our rich and diverse culture and heritage. This highly creative, labor-intensive, decentralized and largely fragmented cottage sector is spread all over the country. It is a major source of income for rural communities, with most of the production units located in rural areas and small towns, thereby employing millions of weavers, including large number of the weaker section, women, and people belonging to the less privileged members in the society. There has been consistent growth over the years, and the Indian handloom sector has evolved as one of the major contributors to export and foreign currency earnings. India produces a large variety of handloom products in home furnishings, fashion, lifestyle, apparels, and textile segment. Today, Indian handlooms products are the pride of some of the best homes across the globe. We have big international brands establishing their production centers in all over India except the Northeast. You name the international labels like Kenzo, Zara, Peter England, Jack and Jones, and many others. They have their production establishment in India, mostly concentrated in peninsular India. Now, I would like to come to the journey that I have been taken for the past 9 years. My label, Heritage Mizoram. Started in 2008 with just 3 weavers. Today, at Heritage Mizoram, we are employing more than 76 weavers across the state. The label's philosophy is quality, our priority. Social entrepreneurship, which is our mission. We see social entrepreneurship as a creative force in bringing a justice society. And our vision, there is a strong social responsibility attached to our philosophy. We penetrate new markets and above all adapt to global market trends. May I now request our very lovely Femina Miss India Mizoram 2017, Rodi H. Vandalstriapui, to come on stage. Rodi is wearing the handloom products created from Heritage Mizoram. Our lovely Miss Mizoram is wearing mercerized cotton puan, and she's wearing handloom moga silk in the top. May I request Miss Anjali, my assistant, to come on stage and show us the products of Heritage Mizoram. This shawl is made from the hand-spun, hand-woven, white and brown cotton grown in Mizoram by a farmer in Handloom. This has a very strong niche market at the international market, so we are developing this product line. What you see here is a cushion cover. Different countries have different size demands. In India, we use mostly 16 by 16 inches sizes, but in Europe, the sizes are more bigger. And this is again hand woven by one of the weavers we work with in Kohai village. This is a table runner, and the raw material is mercerized cotton again, and it is rather thick than the usual cotton. And for a better market, you need to use natural fibers, either cotton or silk. And I will come to the reason why we still stick to using acrylic yarns in Mizoram, and the reason why it is difficult to market outside the States. This shawl is woven with eri silk and cotton, and the item is produced from Kohai village again by one of our weavers on the fly shuttle loom. There are different types of looms which are being used in India. We have Dobi, we have Jagat, we have the pit loom, we have fly shuttle loom. But in Mizoram, we use the Zou loom and the Burmese loom. They have a slight different mechanism. And of course, the traditional loom, the loin loom, the backstrap loom. This is a 100% pure eri silk stole. Last year, we participated at an international fair there we got 350 pieces order from a UK buyer. And this bag is made from the, I think you are very familiar with the textures and designs, but we put in some surface embellishments, value additions here. So we market these to Delhi through our buying agent. And again, this is a table runner, and this is woven on the loin loom, the traditional backstrap loom. So different looms have different kinds of speciality when it comes to weaving. So we are using mercerized cotton, and this has a very good market outside the country. And if you know, if your color palette, your color combination depends on that. You have a buyer from Japan, you have a buyer from America, so it works that way. So this is what we do, and this is how we evolve. Again, handloom is environmental friendly at its production stage. Through product innovation and market promotion, handloom products can find their way across the globe, be it fashion, lifestyle, etc. We have different kinds of marketing platforms at domestic level, national level, and international levels, and at Heritage Mizoram, we have been participating at international levels and national levels, and we've done collections for fashion events in different parts of our country, which are commissioned by the Ministry of Textiles. What we need in our state, Mizoram, for development of handloom, I would like to make some points here. Number one, provision of sufficient capital and credit for small artisans and entrepreneurs. Emphasis on marketing content towards appropriate commercial positioning of our handlooms. Appropriate application of product and design innovations. Technological interventions, upgrades and capacity building for the grassroots level entrepreneurs. Visual presentation, detailing and branding to give promotional impetus to the current marketing strategies to take our handlooms to a new height. And today I want to make a challenge to the students, the young bright students here, to have a vision and to have a vision for starting entrepreneurship. When we have in Mizoram thousands of entrepreneurs, be it in the handloom sector or in other sector, our state economy will grow. Mention must be made here today for the support they have given us for many years to MACO, Mizoram Apex Handlooms and Handicrafts Corporation. May I request the project manager, Mr. Lalrin Omabatsuo, to kindly rise from his seat. MACO has been giving us assistance at their end for many years. We are very grateful for the support, and if you need support and assistance for starting handloom entrepreneurship, please go to the office, meet them, talk to them, and they will help you. On this grand occasion, which has a strong and deep-rooted beginning, I urge everyone in this room to use handloom products in your daily lives by wearing, using at home, or gifting the handloom products. By so doing, we can help sustain the livelihood of many people in our state. Before I conclude, I would like to quote our Prime Minister's words. From farm to fiber, fiber to fabric, fabric to fashion, and fashion to foreign. And to finally close my remarks, I would request again Ms. Rodi to come on stage wearing our Eri Silk collection, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Charlie, for your interesting presentation as well as the visual presentation. And I would like to thank Ms. Rodi. She is also one of us, being a product of MZU. So we look at her not as Miss Femina, India, Mizoram, but we look at her as an alumni. So she has come and helped Charlie in showcasing their products, but at the same time, she has come back home. That is what how I would like to address her. She has come back home. Anna loma mo ang akmu nam boka kan mi titlay boka kan beng atay boka ni. Tuna soan quiz. We will come to the quiz section. Suata and his company, are you ready for judging the quiz competition? This is going to be a quiz made from Mizo handloom. Since we have very less time, we cannot go to the Indian handloom sectors. So we are concentrating on Mizo handloom only. Mizo product so ania chuan zona kan zo don sewa achen chu ho de ai ngai ko nia nga achang turkha rang taka indi na ngai dona atto pa ati tha pathum lo man kan pe don sewa chuan chan mi pakhat khan in chan tam po le khan lo man lang na chan sin nei sang ani visual in kanon tirang dona he hi enge ni ti ani lang pui dona chuwang chuan heta kan students council te hian ading masa anlo chin cha don sewa ading masa piang kha ban par remote ko ni lo o ban par pai nin dinga nga rang taka din ngai don ni chu ta chuan a chan na in ron soyanga adik chuan anlo chin cha nga in hing le in department ne ato pa loman ati tha pathum kha loman kan pe don sewoni. And for preparation of this quiz, I am very thankful to Mr. Dan Daniel, who has gone out of his way to make this slide presentation as well as collecting of the materials. Dan danan nasa takina thoka ke chelaya ama ku mum sa kron pa remote ani ana song song hidan dana thofik ani ti kha kan sei te du bok ani. We will go to the first question. La de na man rua hi enge ming te nya la de na man rua ale maron lang don ni ale maron lang nga o fm mic ki lo eng lo ula la de na man rua aron lang dona mo chuan sco ka chulo khan he tang in lo chuan ading ko san ki lo bang inti boy oi lo mo din in su kan inti boy la vila la de na man rua aron lang dona in ringem tunga la de na man rua aron lang don alan rua la sang tu ding ka le tunga ding pa sa oh hela ya yan mai ka pero le mai ka pero la adik chuan ding chuan sai in sin sia chawang hela ya yan FM ka chalo mi o ring de min han sei tele la sai a chana dang sha kan omem din lek ringo temmi adang soi le du kan omem he ta hian la din lek chana di kem dan dan han tele la din lek ani din lek no ka chon le din lek don ka shat lo mo la din lek ani he ta khan ming le chuan tuna adota kan ka lang thom no alo lang don ani a thom no kha enge ming mo a thom no tuna kan tu lang ang ding an tam khop maya tunge ding ma saber le he tami engmo siap swam adi kem kan na adi keni mingka naram dia na commerce mo kai commerce dam department dam kha trong ro le chuan adop le kan ka lang hei hi nge ani hei hi ni top to ni chu mo le alen ti lang ila helaya hian helaya mi pa hi ding masa puan pui pon pui atia adi ke me kan pon pui ani in cham nom le mai pon pui chuan adop le kan ka lang hei hian puan nge tian ni eng puan nge ale me nang le hello mari din masa ber din masa ka pui mo nia puan chei i chu chiang ani te ro puan chei in chin che mo ming a chin che tu ro kan in chin che chuan adop le puan tho ani puan chei chu ro ni to don lo nia nang le cái nghe avan thấu hi mo avan nghe pondum adi ke mo pondum adi ke ni adop le kan ka lang he la de na man roi nghe ming la de na thấu ani mo tôi tiếc sản tổ lực chủ ni chu là tôi tiếc để cho tiền với cả ngài hay là lo
có sức
cái gì vậy anh không rõ mà khăn là tiền bay là xưa mà xin tôi khăn sấy là vẫn đi ăn lâu mà nhàng in chu khăn nó tổ ni mua din lok chu còn phân là không à đi kèm cái nào đấy hair oat ani hair oat mo chuan adop le kan ka lang hei hi engkor nge mo engkor nge ale me nang le ding tu ren wang ta le mai sha kan na mem he ta hian engmo dol rem kormo adang chang du kono mem ris du kono mem
lal kor
sia kanom lo ani mai the kanen sinang adik na nge ni Mizoram kor ani Mizoram in ke po khat ya kha na chin ti ka lo she lo re na Mizoram kor ani cho ka chen to do nia chuan a dot le kan kalanga puan na pangbok ani puan ve la khan mi pa ni nan sang mai me cheu khang a tinge ni o chang ang o hei yen puan nge en ang ulem ba la ti en puan nge en mo thang chua puan hết thì mi khan chance kan peang mar puan khơi nghe định số cái nào ô mar puan là định số cái gì đó à tốt ya puan bốc anh đi ô puan bốc mình chắc không trong cái chú hết tất cả hết trơn nó để mày à cái con lâm cái mình số đâu đến mình số em puan nghe anh nào ô em puan nghe kiki azot apulam yan zot ta anh lâu chỉ biết nghe được cái này nằng em puan nghe lên qua puan mà đi đằng sau thì cái đó em puan mà chả nun cần là không lẽ hăng hết ta cái nào vang đó puan ngô mò đang cần là không lẽ thế nhỉ chú anh nghe nhỉ ô chú nào lút tối tế cả siang à chuan mà khá chân lên muang in sha chuan em ta puan này mà đi nè in sha chuan rồi mò chả nó cái này nào tua ta puan này tua ta puan thế bị to là tua chuan chú nào puan thấu cái này đéng em puan nghe kiki em ngó xây bốc cái xây chong thiam lâu em puan ni xe mi đam chance kan pele ang chan nei chu ka xây thiam sia in rin lâu de man yang han ti ri ot ti ru hu pol om me zau ve ka ris ngam kan om lo em mi chan na kan mai don em mi in sha dan chi na chuan tu na chan chan kan phai to lo wanga ip te che ya hian kan sei ma zok thin ani ip te che sei nan hian chu tu na ma pu lovin eng puan ne nang le kiang koi puan ani kiang koi puan ani te po ka sha te khat na ve kho ani kiang koi puan ken ting pi chon chak ma puan ni mo ka tia ma se kiang koi puan lo nia chuan adot lia kan kal le nga puan tho ani alem le nang heta va ren lo pia mar am ani mar am ani amma khi nge khi chuan na sa cho mar am ma chu len buang trom lo zo ma se kan pom tho ma en ang le chan na kop pui zik za zo ka ni mo mar am ma se mar am sin kha kan pom mai do ni chuan dot le kan kal le ang la de na man ruwa he la de na man ruwa hi nge hing ti ani en ang ule he ta hi la sai na atia la sai ya ne na ka chu kan pom mai ang acha chu la sai kan kan ma la an sai la sai na chu ni de re ta kan chuan a ta kan kal le ang he puan zia mo azia khan ta ni he puan zia hi nge ming te ni a puan na he ta he senior senior mấy chạy lần sau về ta ama chú senior xuống rồi nhá senior của anh này tôi ta cần cái liền á hết quan gia thì anh em mình thì anh quan gia chỉ sang mà sẽ mình in ang ở trong don đấy sakei giang zia đi cái lần đó em không quay đi em lòng mò đi lòng mò đột lẹ cần cân lẹ nó quan gia thấu nè hết quan gia thì nghe miếng tiền nhá điên lẹ đó mày anh nghe đấy sai đổi quan gia cần lâu này chuyện thì cô chỉ có lâu rất sợ là ba mi đang xe nó mềm xe cái nó mềm不知道你是比较冷漠anh em cái này chỉ làm不知道你他说嘛他不为了har zai mo alam da ni ka chiang lo har zai te ka lo ti ve lo ta har zai ani sai do ne ni ang de ni chu har zai chu ni ti na chu sai do min lo pe kan ti don na har zai min lo pe te kan tia ma a chapian do ne son quan gia thấu cái nên lệ đó nè cái nào khi em quan gia mẹ vào là mình làm please lệ đó nè em mò bete mu mò mít mu mít mu lâu đâu chắc là nó mềm thế nó phải nói được đó hay làm cái sự là em mì sao cái nó em mì đắng thế làm bao nhiêu sao cái nó em lẻ cần anh lâu nghe phim publicity hậu làm thế cái này sao em mỗi sao làm sao mà emผู้ชายนี่มีปุ๋ยเทียมฟงเตเวลมั้งเขาบอกเอ็นสินะผู้ชายนี่มาไปโดนไตละอดีตเทียมฟงเตสินะดิกันนี่จะฟงเตไลเวฟงเตไลเวที่เกี่ยวกับกระแสไงฟักหรือเปล่าที่ทานกันซิลเซลนี่ที่ข้ากันจะโดนเนี่ยส่วนโดนเนี่ยปวนเสียเท่ากันนั่นเลยโดนนี่นะเชื่อกันต้องเป็นเลยเล่นบวงช่วงอดีตนี่นะเล่นบวงช่วงอดีตนี่ส่วนทุกอย่างส่วนเรื่องสาวส่วนละเดนมันรัวกันนั่นเลยทุ่งโดนla de nóมันรัวเลยตรงนี้เสียเฮ้ยแต่เลยเอ็งวะมุ้ยเราเดี๋ยวเล็กอันนี้เมลเดียวเฮ้ยแต่ยังสูเวลสูเวลอันนี้เอ็งนะสูเวลอันนี้ถ้าอย่างสูเวลที่มันไล่ตัวอันมันเนี่ยตูนูที่เราเกณฑ์เชื่อแต่พอให้แต่มาส่งอ่ะวิร์ซีกันมั่งชีนะให้ออริจินัลสูเวลังคาอันนี้เชื่อเรากันเราพออินเชื่อฐานันกันมั่งตอนเนี่ยส่วนตัวเดียวให้เองเงี้ยอันนี้ที่นี่แต่ตบไม่นี่ซูเองเงี้ยอันนี้เอ็นะโม่ยิ่งมุ่งจังเถอะโม่เองเงี้ยอันนี้เลยให้แต่หันทิ้งเจ็บป่ะวนพ่อวนพ่อช่วยได้มาสิจะเดียวเอ็งไงดังเลยสิอีสิเดียวดูมีเลยอันที่แกเจ๊เดี๋ยววันหลับมั่ววันหลับไอ้ชอบมาชา puan kop o adik ko nga say tam to na yan ang sintiang o puan kop ani ava lo te pon an ta chi na puan kop ka chu cha de nek am chi kha ani mo tu na ya chuan kan sa po ni ka ko la te kan sin do puan kop kan wa ta lo de ba kan lo se lo de ni mai the tu ma chuan ni puan sin in sin lum na kan man chi na ni mo tu ma chuan kan mang chi na ni chu tu ma mang pha ve ngat kan ni chu o chuan adot le kan enang eng kor nge ti bo kan le ta ni le a kor kha o tual kor o adang in achidang a soidan a me mo o an sete nam chom kor mo o en chi nam kha tual ta kor an dia tual kor kha an ti thau pon ka sia ke chuan tual ta kor ma seng in mak na pe me ngo tu na chuan mak pulo zo na mi zong zong sha tu ra kan rin kan on da be sim sim don ni kan cha ro chup don ne o te kwa ni nge ming tian ya en ang ule nge le sai tu nau puak puan ani ama saber mi kha nau puak puan kan ti kha ain ang che pa ma se ain ang lo de tina nya chu nau puak puan chu kan sha ve ka kan rina wangin point kan siam lova ti kan students council lam kan an mak kan be sela e voina ti ram tam tak ko ti man chu ni se india ram handloom chu chang te po in zo cha ko ma se hun kan nei tle ma wangin e kha Asia ve chuan in lo she le maya alo mum ka tia tin pucha le ka fam tu na chu I ka sia lo ke ba khan ka sia lo ma handloom mi ani boka a har tu ma na kan sia lo ka lo sia a om na om ta kai na lo om ani mo chu ta chuan kan zir chwa tu chu kan kal na lam lai ni chu kan sia a thani chu wangin kan ti na lam lai na chuan handloom ani mo ni lo ve mo kan siat acha mo kan zurona I kan han rona kan siat lo mai po ka alo sia kha ama lai na achiang tinani chu ta kam chuan zir swa tu tam tak kan nei bokin ka sia alo mom ka ti pucha lia chu ha po long tu kan sei nam le tu a and we are now coming to the later part of our program. We have one solo and after that we will go for distribution of prize and we still have one closing act from Liliven Cultural Club that will be before the vote of thanks. Now I will invite Mr. F. Liana, Department of Zoology, to present his song.
Kapian naram tila sare. Ibu jong kami do ti ringan la. Thing bul lung bul bia in dấu nun zia môi tên là lâu par chua mình than môi là lâu mê giá min a lâu vui mà ngày tu trang hạ xây lianin dấu thơm mà thăng môi nghe thing bul lung bul bia in dấu nun zia môi tên là lâu par chua mình than môi là lâu mê giá min a lâu vui mà ngày tu trang hạ xây lianin dấu thơm mà thăng môi nghe Kapian naram o kan Mizoram no full sail soy lo ten lo boy suala no mai lo na do ra lian donan sam du sui ma se ali du dam do se do itan dai ria san theng wing cần mong ngày dấu râm mong ngày cần dấu râm đua cần thiam cần phim lâu xa mà sẽ an chia mấy một cần chân hi xóa na tiếng ren ngắt na đầu ôm ấy khen in mô càng ru din sung tua lâu ca ye tin lại ru ca na vong vong ca miền nam ô gần sâu nam nuông phun xe là xoay lâu tên lâu môi xóa la câu bay lâu là câu na liang câu na sam đôi suy pa se ai để cùng tâm đồ xe đôi itan đại liang san khen cần mong ngày sâu râm mong ngày cần sâu râm hoa càng rêu thăng ca ra bộ nắng lệ khi sung dấu căn nia đâu ran hoa sáng ai lâu năm hoài sen nghe ca cho tiếng sách rui lâu đen đen na cần để nghe tu ani do ta pian ram o kan so ram tua vun se la xoay lâu tên lâu môi xóa la câu bay lâu là câu na liang to na sam đôi suy ba se ai để cùng tâm đôi xe đôi itan đại liang san khen cần mong ngày sâu ra mong ngày cần sâu râm tua lung bul bia dâu nun zia môi tên lâu pa hen xua mình than môi na râu mây xa min a lâu vu mà ai tu trang a se lianin dâu na mà thang môi nghe Robe.
Thank you, Mr. F. Lerna Liana. Mizo ni nom na chu zai thiam hi kan nei khoi mu na point kalila an sei thina mizo so manom chon solo te hi nam nge nge tia chu tiang khop chon zai thiam kan nei chin ba ka la ram le nam min ngai tir vong vong tu te kan nei thina ram min ngai tir em tu te a chang chon bial nu le bial pa min ngai tir vong vong thei te kan nei ki mani mo chu tiang ang mizo akan lo piang hi kan van neya handloom te mo tha em mai ke mani product nge kan neya chuwan chon voi la hian mizo ni nuam ti le zuarin kan au chau ka be se ni now we will go for distribution of prize for that quiz competition. May I request our chief guest to hand over the prizes. The prize has been brought by the Directorate of Field Publicity, Ministry of Information and Publicity and Broadcasting, ISOL unit. And we have 4 prizes for individual prizes. The 5th prize will be a group prize for all the students because you have answered the last questions correctly, all of you. So we will put that prize in DSW office. So DSW will represent you and take the prize. Pangana ka na kwa kwan ka kan tiam mawangin kan vai lo mana pangana in la dona ni chu in vai lo mana ni dona DSW ina la anga ina hon tura ni rawa office ada dona ni. The first prize goes to Le Doma from Mizo department. Let's give a round of applause for him. ina handloom masiam huna in thok vedon nia. The second prize goes to Mizoram from Department of Commerce. Do mate kola kan ta chuak chawanga Ramliana ten ashar na anzong don ni. The third prize goes to Lawrence Lerton Puya, Mass Communication. He will be in charge of the advertising. Avan chaem boy na kan lom na tu ho no. Kan kim nga tapani kan handloom mi atchang don no mai. The fourth prize goes to Len College Commerce. So she will help in selling of the products, helping Mizoram industry te now kan din thei nga don boin kan kui sa tang yan avan lo mom en Len College Commerce Department. And the last prize, which is for all the students, I will request Professor Moitea. This is for all of you in Vailoman and here for your participation and for answering the last question correctly. And before our chief guest leaves the dais, I request him to give token of appreciation to two of our soloists. Mercy, is she still here? Mercy? Yeah.
Organizers ng pangatangin can hold to the here. Sir, please stay on the stage. Sir, please stay on the stage. Kan chief guest niya na yan necktie ang present doa. So chumis dikte yan ang ayaw mi pek sang mi sila. So kan quiz master hi so kan pe vedong ko kan vice chancellor kan chief guest yan mi dikte alan le be thum do na ni.
Banukte kami banukte ka nila ulit tukti ka shen ni zati ka shen nga mase banukte ka tive te ka tamo banukte an merawa. Now we will have the closing act from Lilivan Cultural Club to give their traditional dance, the cultural dance that they have come prepared with. Now may I invite them. Lilivan Cultural Club Tikha in Ramen Tir and local ula kanong Lilivan Cultural Club Titsua Kanloma Lamoy Takalon Entira. Now we have come to the last part of our program, that is vote of thanks. May I request Professor F. Leonard Moya, Dean Students Welfare, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Dicte. I hope we enjoy today's program. And I'm really happy to propose a vote of thanks on today's celebration of National Handloom Day. So first of all, I'd like to express my thankfulness to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Lianzela, for gracing today's function as a chief guest. So we are very grateful for your inspiring and thought-provoking speech. And special thanks to our chairman of today's function, our registrar, Zotan Kuma. In spite of his busy engagement, he could make it possible to be the chairman of today's function. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Pusi UMC Lian Moya, Field Publicity Officer, Directorate of Field Publicity, Information and Broadcasting Ministry. So he has organized with his team, he successfully organized today's function. And I'd like to give a special thanks to the representatives of this All India Radio and DDK Doordarshan Kendra, news editor of AIR and his team, and as well as Doordarshan Kendra Aizol, for highlighting our today's program and highlighting and covering our today's program. And I'd like to thanks Pusi Rin Oma, project manager Mako, for coming to witness our today's program. So I also like to thanks our today's resource persons, Dr. Rama Ramswamy, Department of Commerce, and to Pucharli for their interesting presentation, and also Miss Rodi, Femina Miss India Mizoram. So I'd like to express my thankfulness to Miss Rodi. And special thanks is due to Miss Dicte, our compeer and also quiz master for today's program. And I'd like to also mention the special mention to PRO Miss Marina and his team, such as Dindina, who has prepared our quiz for today. And I'd like to express my thankfulness to all those who are working in the Public Relations Cell, Mizoram University, and to MZU Student Councils and all the ASAs for today's program. I'd like to give a special thanks to all of you. And to Miss Mercy Lelmontomi and Mr. Ebdon Hagena for offering a special number for today's program. And we are very, very grateful to you. And for last but not the least, for all the professors, teachers, and my colleagues and students who have come to attend and participate in today's events. Thanks to you all. Thank you very much.